Hello all, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3, and in this particular video I want to talk to you about doing a DBA or a PhD and thinking about the career path that you're going to take in either one of those. So if you don't know me, I am an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There are so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor forward and help you out. So first of all, I want to point out that two things. If you're thinking of a DBA at Harvard, that's probably a different program than what I'm actually talking about. Here, I'm talking about, that's more along the lines of like a traditional PhD program. And what I'm talking about here is kind of like the executive DBA programs, where it's like a 3-year program and you go back into industry, which is becoming increasingly more common. And that's the second thing I want to point out, is that I'm actually a really big fan of them because they give you a middle ground between doing an MBA and as well as a traditional PhD. So it's kind of like geared towards people that want to do a little bit more of an academic kind of thing and actually apply that in the real world. And I think that there's a lot of value to be had in terms of knowledge translation that you actually get from doing these DBA programs and developing a closer connection to academics in the real world. So I think that there's a tremendous amount of benefit from that. And I also think that there's a tremendous amount of benefit from doing the PhD route in terms of becoming a traditional academic and really investing your time in becoming a traditional academic. I'm not saying one or the other is sort of worse or better or anything like that, but I'm just kind of talking about in terms of the career path and what you might expect. So in terms of the career path of a DBA, kind of an executive DBA, you're likely to go and do a DBA after you've become an outstanding citizen, in terms of a practitioner in the real world, and then you decide to go back in after you've done your MBA and all that, and invest and really grow and expand the business that you actually have. Compared to the PhD is probably going to be, more of a younger student, maybe. That's where I put the question mark on that. But, somebody that is beginning to become an academic and focus on doing research, publishing, and, doing the traditional academic route. And you could do that with a DBA as well. You do see lots of people that do that kind of stuff, but it's just traditionally, it's a little bit more difficult because it is kind of this kind of middle ground program that is not necessarily trained towards getting you to become, a full-time professor and stuff like that. Although there's people that are doing that. I'm not trying to discount it in any sort of way, but just realize that in terms of what they're trying to do with the program. So what they're expecting you to do in terms of the academic career path is build and grow the academic program that the stature, the research stature of the organization that you're working for, or maybe work some sort of middle ground where you're, 1 foot in academics, 1 foot in, the practitioner world. Whereas a PhD is definitely a lot more on a traditional PhD program at top universities, a lot more along the lines where you're going to be an academic and you're going to be doing research and publishing and, building your career as a professor, right? So, but the thing that I want to point out, and it goes for either program and either sort of path that you choose, I think, again, they're both equally good. But I really want you to think about these paths in terms of some things that concern me with them. But in my point of view, I worry that some of the programs out there, and it goes for both of them, I worry about that you're going to get a return on your investment. And I really want you to think about the return on investment that you're going to get from the programs that you're going to be in. So we definitely look at the program and really take a deep dive and not just kind of take it, as like, if you get into a program, don't just go to the program, right? Because some programs will let you in and you pay a lot of money and you're not going to get a lot of return for that. I have a lot of videos on how to figure out, whether you're going to get a return or it's going to be a good thing for you to do. Do watch some of those. It's going to be really helpful for you. The second thing that I'm concerned about for you, if you're making this decision in either side, is really look into the quality of the faculty, because that's going to be the biggest predictor on what you're going to learn in the program and what you're actually going to do. And so that's going to be the sort of ensuring factor in the quality of the education that you're going to get. So look to see what schools they went to, whether that they are, active researchers and things like that in terms of, again, lots of videos on all of this, but I want you to really take that seriously and take a deep dive in what they're about as academics, right? That's going to be really important. And then the third thing in terms of, thinking about your career path and what I would do in terms of, helping you make this decision is really look at the connections that people have, both if you're doing a DBA, maybe look at the connections that they have both in academics and in industry and whether that actually is a good connection, right? So you can actually go and see whether they have connections with IBM or, something like that, or SAS or SAP or whatever it is, and think about those connections. Or if you're into an academic world, think about the PhD path and whether they have good connections with, with different academics in different programs around the world, right? So that is going to be really important for you in terms of you deciding what's going to happen with your career path and all the benefits of doing that. So I really want you to think about these things in terms of the career path and what you're going to choose to do. And then from there, you can hopefully make a better decision from that. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.